the past few years, we could definitely see the rise of the R&B and hip-hop music in Asia, and then especially in China, we have shows that talk about China hip-hop, and there's more diverse music, and there's a lot of R&B as well. Back in 2017, I helped a Malaysian rapper to actually produce her track to compete in the Rap of China show. Fun facts, actually, I actually went for the auditions as well. So there's this Southeast Asia selection, and then I was actually so close to go on the show. Yeah, I was around out. I'm born Malaysian, Chinese, and I feel like the diversity we have and just various backgrounds in Malaysia just make us more prone to and open with different cultures. So we grow up at least speak Chinese, English and Malay, and we can pick up some Tamil, which is Indian as well. And then that just makes us more open to foreign languages. So all the pop cultures, J-pop, K-pop, even like Bollywood, even like Cantopop, we are definitely exposed growing up. And I feel like the listening taste in Malaysia and Southeast Asia is so diverse, and it just makes me have interest in all these languages. It's just that feeling that, wow, a Chinese face speaks English, speaks Mandarin, speaks Malay, and then yeah, I feel like that's kind of some kind of unique selling point, I guess. Yeah, I've made so many Chinese records with other artists, and based on my knowledge, like looking at the statistics behind the streaming apps, like we have the biggest portion of Chinese songs being streamed in US, in Australia, and in big countries out of Asia. So I think it's really interesting that Chinese music, the listeners mainly maybe in Chinese regions, but there is so much more to explore. And so like people like the Chinese who are saying outside of China, and then like I'm like the fourth generation, we're all Chinese speakers. So we still consume Chinese music, and we may have, I feel like there's a potential, I feel like knowing that Chinese is the second most spoken language in the world, you definitely have a huge market and listening audience to it. But it's just that the direction would be very different, because singing, knowing that the Chinese language is more poetic, maybe doing dance pop kind of songs may not work as well as Korean. So yeah. I feel like every time I come to different Chinese cities, it just gives me this really unique connection to it, like to the city itself, because we are so familiarized with the Chinese language growing up. I go to a Chinese school where I have to learn the whole Chinese characters, the grammar and everything, growing up with that. And then we consume so much of the cultural products like TV shows, and then like TVB, and then like music, Cantopop on the radio, or like even like, the records itself. We can buy that in Malaysia. So we consume so much of these products, and like when we arrive in Chinese regions, it just feels like you're at home too. And then especially when I speak Chinese as well, we have our slangs, we have our accents. And then coming here to the cities, it just feels like you're still at home. But then when you live as a local, when I work long trips here, when I have to stay here and be around with the locals, you just feel like, yeah, I feel like I belong here too. You feel like it's a second home, because you can connect to them with the same language, and then you understand whatever they're saying. When they talk about music and movies, you still have that connection with it. So I feel like growing up with that, it's just such a really indescribable feeling, and it just helps me write songs better.